Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
Not enough fake emotion in your voice there, Todd.
I actually belched just as I was about to, say it. So I was, you want to do it again?
No.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
There we go.
There you go.
Did anyone see that Jennifer Garner Christmas movie? She belches in it. Speaking of that, it's not good. If it wasn't for her, it would be unwatchable.
I mean,
and her belching.
How could it possibly have been good? I saw the trailer for it.
I was actually, I was
her,
sad when I saw that she was in a Christmas movie because I feel like that is kind of like.
Nah, that's the thing. Like everyone's doing stuff. It was not great. You know, it was also in there. I didn't realize it was even her. The best friend from Wednesday, the roommate from Wednesday plays her daughter.
Oh, okay.
She's blonde and a couple years older. I didn't really even realize it was her. But sorry, Jennifer, the movie's not great.
I thought that there were a couple moments in the trailer that I at least appreciated that they were poking fun at the genre of like switch movies.
They did do that, yeah. But this this story is just
so.
And no way Ed Helms gets her.
Okay,
no way.
So what is the best thing that she's done since
Alias?
I kind of feel like
Alias?
I feel like historically we love Jennifer Garner, but I cannot think of a thing that she's been in that's watchable in like forever.
You know that movie, the last thing he told me, that limited series wasn't too bad. It was okay.
Really?
It was okay.
I actually didn't finish it, and I don't finish everything. I finish everything.
You know what? The best thing she does? Watch her Instagram. She's funny.
Okay.
She's smart. She's this great businesswoman. I like her as a person. Whether her acting...
13 going on 30 was watchable in a funny, cute way.
It was great for what it was.
But this was like that movie all over again, only with more people switching.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah, she was in that movie with Ryan Reynolds. She plays his mom, but she was good, but she was not the major person in that.
She was great in Pearl Harbor.
I cut her slack. I don't care. I like.
I do absolutely too. I mean, I think I like her as a person. I just feel like she hasn't done...
I think she's capable of doing more. Maybe she's just.
I think that.
Come on, all you need is the scene in the blue dress from Alias. It's fine.
Oh, is it the scene in the blue dress, or is it the scene on the airplane?
Dress? Is it the black and red lingerie? Is it the coming out of the pool?
No, it's the scene on the airplane where she changes into all the different outfits. Yep,
it's all good.
Yeah,
but she's good. Supposedly she's going to play Elektra in the Deadpool movie. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, but that's probably... Well, I'm guessing it's a cameo. Yeah.
You know what she was in that movie Peppermint, which was sort of like a family revenge movie. It was like hardcore revenge.
That. Yeah.
I wish it was better. I don't think it was her fault. Should have had a better script. We'll find something for her. Anyway, we're not here. We support Jennifer Garner.
Absolutely.
We love
I will
her.
say I am unequivocally on team Jennifer Garner. She just needs a win. So
she does. But the thing is, a lot of the stuff she's done recently has had really amazing viewership. So
good.
It may not be a win for stuff we like, but
Yep.
As long as she doesn't go to the Hallmark Channel and start making Hallmark movies.
That was my fear when I saw this Christmas movie thing. I was like, oh, God, no, please,
that.
no.
Yep. The Adam Project is that last thing.
Yes, that was the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Peppermint. All great stuff. Yeah, I'd like to see her. Like, she should be in movies. Like...
She is in. I will say she is in that weird age group right now, where like for a woman in Hollywood, where she's going to play in another few years she'll start playing bosses and stuff like that, but now she's playing she's in the mom phase.
Yeah, but she's 51 though.
I know that, but I'm saying
like in this movie she's got like a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old and like a 1-year-old.
I know, but she's still in that phase where she's playing. Then she'll move into the like playing professional woman. You know, it'll be professional woman roles and that sort of stuff. And it's like,
I think she could be the lead in anything that's got a sophisticated.
Yeah, I just think for
female.
A woman between 40 and 55, there's a lot of very, very limited options. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, we'll come up with something. You know, who was also in this movie, I know we're dragging on to, Rita Moreno was in this movie. She's sort of the one this gypsy lady who kind of makes this whole switch happen. And I'm like, okay, Rita Moreno. She's 92.
I was just going to say, how 90 is she at this point? Yeah.
Not at all 90.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I read, today's her birthday. I was shocked that she was 92.
Oh, good for Rita Moreno.
Happy birthday, Rita Moreno.
Moreno, yes.
There you go. Happy birthday,
yep.
Rita. Anyway, so we're going to do stuff. It's still the holiday season, whether you like it or not. We're going to talk about some gift discussion from our incredibly difficult point of view.
Yes.
I think all.
Not that our point of view is difficult. We're difficult.
We are very difficult.
We are as difficult as they come. So.
I think so. So we'll get to that. But let's do some... What's in the box? Let's do some random. Whatever, whoever. Barry, what do you got?
I'll go because I only have one. This goes into the category of I don't know why people feel like they need to say things like this just in an interview.
It sounds like it came from Geek Tyrant because it's all bullshit.
No, this is from Variety.
Okay, same thing.
It's an article from 10, 11 days ago. But so Jodie Foster apparently made some comments about superhero movies. And basically she said, it's a phase. It's a phase that's lasted too long for me, but it's a phase. And I've seen many different phases. Hopefully people will be sick of it soon.
I think you're right, Jodie. I think people are sick of it.
But how does it benefit her? She's not going to be in a superhero movie unless she's playing the old female general at this point. She's not going to be the...
Yeah,
But she wants to be people to watch serious movies the way Martin Scorsese... I'm sorry, Martin Scorsese. I'm not watching Flower Moon Children or whatever that is for 3 hours and 40 minutes or whatever. It's ridiculous.
It's not a phase. It's a genre. It's a genre that emerged, maybe get overdone for a while, but I'll tell you, they're not going to completely go away. And this has been around since arguably 1978. So again, it's just it's a thing. It's gonna ebb and flow. It's gonna they'll scale back, but if it's not the stuff you like, just watch something else.
But then she goes on
why
to
does
say
everybody
this,
have to comment on
right. But then she goes on to say, because everybody's got to backpedal. Once they say something like this, then they have to backpedal. The good ones, like Iron Man, Black Panther, and The Matrix, I marvel at those movies, and I'm swept up in the entertainment of it. But that's not why I became an actor, and those movies don't change my life. She also goes on to say...
Silence of the Lambs didn't change my life either.
She also goes on to say that Everything Everywhere All at Once was maybe the best movie that she's ever seen.
Yeah. Okay.
Jodie, you're clearly insane. I think you need to seek help.
I think she's turned into that girl that lives in the woods that she played. What's that?
Well,
Nell?
again, there's a lot of people that like that movie. I don't totally get that. I think it did a lot of really clever things, but it also went off the rails. But again, though, if you've never seen anything on the multiverse and you're seeing this, it's all original. But yeah, the rocks with little googly eyes and the hot dog fingers were like a bridge too far for me.
And that and the rocks, yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
But I give her a little bit of credit for, like, these days you wouldn't think anybody in Hollywood wouldn't want to say anything about anybody or anything just because they want to do work. And, like, you make comments like this, I don't see Kevin Feige or what's his name, DC version of Kevin Feige. I don't see either of them wanting to hire somebody who's basically out there saying, "Oh, I don't like superhero movies." So,
Well,
Yeah.
they want to be artists. I'm sorry,
James
the
Gunn,
art
that's
film
the
is the
name I
one
couldn't
that doesn't exist too much anymore.
It doesn't, and they've yet to do like a superhero adjacent art film, and that'll happen at some point. Somebody will do that.
Yeah, but it'll probably be like A4 or some other studio. It's not going to be Marvel or DC.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And then that's the question. I mean,
That was what Snyder tried to do in his own way.
in some, I was going to say, Barry, I almost agree with that with Man of Steel. That there's elements of there where he's trying to make it, he's moving away from the genre, and anyways, failing on different levels. But to this end, if I can just throw something, it's like Godzilla -1. Wow, just like it's crushing it. It's crushing it like a giant lizard that walks out of the sea.
It's crushing it like Godzilla.
And that,
Yeah, it came in like second or third this week. Not doing $100 million, but it's doing big money.
it's
Good money.
It's $50 million worldwide for a film that cost $15 million to make. I know several people that have seen it now, and pretty much everybody has said it's on the film basis, it's the best Godzilla film they've seen. And if you have not seen it, definitely try to see it in the big screen. It's I can't say enough good things about this movie.
Figure out
So
when to do that.
So don't go expecting to see Godzilla versus King Kong. It's a very different, it's a very traditional Godzilla film, but it's done in a very respectful way of all the tradition of Godzilla. So I love it. So I will find a chance to see it again while it's still in theaters, and they're extending its run, which is great. So
Cool. Speaking of Godzilla, there's talk of Kurt Russell possibly playing Jor-El.
yeah,
I totally endorse that.
Oh, I could see that.
yep.
I don't know how old Kurt Russell is. I know. Did everyone see this week's?
Yes.
Yes.
They mentioned it again.
And spoilers, they did mention he can't be 90. Something, there's talk of, so what we had said, there's something happened possibly.
yeah. Something
But
definitely
like I say,
happened.
that dude always looks great.
Yeah.
His hair is flowing. He looks relatively young.
Yep.
He's 72.
God bless Kurt Russell. Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
it? I thought he would be older.
And Todd, do you know where he's from?
I do not know where he's from.
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Oh, is he really? I did not know that.
Yeah, I Googled it. That's where it says he's from.
First thing I ever saw him in was the computer wore tennis shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, and that was at a drive-in when
stuff.
I was very, very young. So, which was an hour away from where he grew up. So that's interesting.
Speaking of Kurt Russell, he also said in an interview that he would consider doing a Big Trouble in Little China sequel.
I
don't know that. I love that movie. I don't know that it holds up. I just watched maybe 60% of it a couple months ago.
see, but he could. I think you could do that.
You really just put that character in some crazy
That's what I'm saying.
situation.
Just have him.
There's
be
not like this. They're not in a hole that it's like, oh my god, you gotta do this and this and this. It's that character, little China, done.
Bring Kim Cattrall back.
I was going to say, so not escape
like
from,
that
not
Susie
escape
Plaxton.
from. Where
No,
would it
that's
be
not
now?
her.
Susie
Where-
Pie.
Susie Pie. She was in the TV series I worked on
Oh, yeah?
after Big Trouble in Little China. She played the piano player at the restaurant.
Where would he? What's left that he would escape from?
Well, L.A. was not great.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So he's hit both
I'm
coasts.
really wait. I can't.
It's got to
believe-
be. It's got to be. It's got to be London or something like that. It's got to be
London.
Or
No.
like Tokyo or something.
something like that where it's got to be.
I don't know that we could see a 70-ish old Snake Plissken. There's talk of rebooting that. They've talked about Gerard Butler. They talked about somebody else. I don't think that needs a reboot.
I don't think so either.
Freaking
I don't know
reboot
what
Logan's
he'd be
Run
doing.
already, people. Are you going to do all these other movies?
Logan's Run.
God
Let's
damn
all
it.
concentrate on Logan's Run.
Yes.
Then we'll talk about other stuff. But I think Kurt Russell could do stuff. I don't see Snake Plissken. I do see like the Big Trouble in
Jack
Little China.
Burton.
Jack Burton could be fun. What else was I going to say about him? I don't remember something else. But so how did they not? What's his last name? The monarch?
Shaw. Colonel Shaw.
Colonel Shaw. I heard he was dead. How did they not jump on the I heard he was dead little thing from Escape from New York?
Oh, yeah.
I heard of you.
Okay.
I heard you were
Yep.
dead. How did they not use that?
Yep.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. So let me ask you, since we're talking about Monarch Legacy, is the legacy the kids? Is that what the whole idea is?
I guess, yeah, for sure.
That had never
this
occurred to
episode.
me until he was talking
Yeah.
about who they were, and that's when it clicked the first time. It says, "Oh no, we're actually talking about the people." I was thinking it was like the after, the in the wake of the monsters and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. No,
And,
they're the legacy. I think they pointed out that May is a downer. She's whining all the time, and then I guess you need someone who's going to spoil it for everybody, but she's a downer.
Yeah.
I am enjoying the show. I got to say,
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's
It's a little bit of a slow burn. This week's episode was slow,
it was.
but
And
we need somebody stomping some cities.
are you up to date? Are you guys up to date on For All Mankind?
I'm one behind.
I'm
Okay.
up to date, yeah.
I will say there are some tensions coming to a head in this between people that, it's drama, but it feels very genuine. It feels like the people that are, I'm trying not to be a spoiler, but the conflict that's there should be there based on who those characters are. And so it'd be interesting to see where this goes. But it's also an
Any
interesting
random?
reveal. I know we're still in random. I got another.
It's all random.
Oh, okay. So I got one too. If we're still swinging around the
Go
arc.
ahead.
Okay. So there are some first reactions out for people who've seen the first few episodes of Echo, and I'm not sure. I don't want to be like overly optimistic about this, but if you read what the people who, and granted they're under NDA and whatnot, they tend to be very positive. The few detracting things people have said could really be said about any Disney show. That it's slow at times, but they said some of the it's very brutal. Some of the action is the best action they've seen in a Marvel series, and that Daredevil fans are going to be very happy with the Daredevil stuff. And that
I saw the headline, but then I saw that it was from comicbook.com, and I said, I'm not
Oh,
reading.
jeez.
yeah, no, I've
Okay.
read a couple different things, and there's actually one of the articles repeated a series of tweets of people who'd seen two to three episodes, and everybody said, again, they're under NDA, but they all said they were eager to see the rest of the series. And apparently she does much better than she had done previously. And they also address that a lot of people jumped to the conclusion that if they're dropping all 5 episodes at once, it's, because they don't think people are going to come back. Again, but everybody in this, everybody that's responded to this has said that they're eager to see the rest of it. So we'll see. It could be one of those things where the first episode doesn't get you anywhere, or the first few don't get you anywhere. Anyways, I'm looking forward to it. January 10th, and if only for just a little scoop of Daredevil and Kingpin. So we'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes. Okay. There was, I don't know if I even believe this, but there's been some early concept art from the last Indiana Jones movie, and there was a grown-up short round in some of the drawings. But I guess they went in a different direction.
I watched the documentary this weekend.
I forgot. I got to watch that.
It's excellent. It's really good. And then I got inspired, and then I rewatched Dial of Destiny. And it's a good, solid movie. Second time
I
through.
want to watch it. I just am so behind on other stuff.
But yeah, the documentary's great. I mean, it's amazing to me that this many years in, they're still finding clips that we've never seen and some behind-the-scene footage that we've never seen from Star Wars and Raiders. And
That's awesome.
It's great. It's
gotta
well
watch
done.
that.
It's really well done.
I feel like, I don't know what I feel like I spend my time watching.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling like, as I look back on this, and we could do a show on this at some point, but the movies that didn't do well, that people, for various reasons, that we actually liked, and again, I talked to people that watched them and actually liked them, and there's quite a few of them from this past year, and I wonder whether the internet is just pre-killing these things. Whether
absolutely,
if it's just there's so much, this isn't going to be good, or people are getting their expectations set for something, and then when they get something else, their reaction is it's bad, and this kind of toxicity is going to kill this industry ultimately.
I think there's people who the box office projection is it's going to do horrible. Someone's going to be like, I'm not seeing it then. If there's something you would see and you hear the box office projection is bad and you don't see it, you're a douchebag. I'm sorry.
I read 3 different articles in 3 different publications last week where people said, The Marvels was a much better film than I thought. And, I was like, yeah. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I just always fall back to when we were young, we didn't know what things did in the box office. We just knew what we liked and what we didn't like.
And Barry, that you nailed it. And this is and again,
it's too much information available.
It's too much information, and also people write about shit they know nothing about to have something to write about. So much on these information sites is pure speculation, or
That's
citing things that are also pure speculation. And then pretty soon, if Tony Stark doesn't show up in the Marvels movie, you're disappointed. And it's like, it's
who's not disappointing? Fanboy Collectibles.
Hell no.
I know we shared what?
Hell no, they're not disappointed.
Hell no, they're not.
Ordered stuff today.
We texted some pictures. Hot Toys, Batman versus Superman. I get it; it's an old movie, but the Batman with Ben Affleck head sculpt's amazing,
unbelievable.
That looks like an awesome Batman's action figure.
I may be ready for another. I may be ready for another Batman in the first quarter of 2025. Wow.
Is it? Okay. But still, check that out. There's a lot of good head sculpts, and it looks awesome.
And what's awesome is it's got 2 different hair sculpts, so you can actually get a couple different looks.
That's it. You can get the get the sweaty
post-fight look.
Yeah.
Another really interesting thing is the Hano Studios Wolverine. Now
that is a licensed item.
This is Hot Toys. Hano Studios is a subdivision of Hot Toys. This is the first figure they've done. You got to. It's not even you got to dig deep to find this. But on their Instagram, they acknowledge that they are a subgroup of creators within Hot Toys.
That's interesting because this is a Wolverine,
a comic book
yellow and blue, and it's got a much lower price point than.
And that's what they're going for. And I think
that's a good looking figure.
I think someone figured out that they can license comic book based characters for less than movie based characters, and worked out some kind of separate deal. I actually pre-ordered this figure. I think this is very cool. And
it looks cool.
And I think it's going to be a very different sort of thing. So I hope to see. I'd love to see a real comic book accurate Daredevil figure.
That could be cool if they start doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of Marvel characters that could be really, really interesting done this way.
So one more really cool item I'll mention while we're in the commercial here. There's a Gotcha Man statue. In America, we knew these guys as G-Force.
Yep.
I grew up watching these guys on Saturday mornings when I was a kid. And this Ken Gotcha Man statue is unbelievable. So freaking cool.
There's always statues and Pops and Sideshow and Hot Toys and Hano Studios. Everything you need. It's not too late to order for Christmas, Hanukkah's passed by the time you order, but it's not too late to order something for
But if you got that
holidays.
Hanukkah gelt burning a hole in your pocket,
that's
exactly.
right.
Go to Fanboy.
Go to Fanboy. So check those guys out, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut. Follow them on Instagram, where you would have seen Batman. They posted that today. And tell them Regular Joe sent you. Okay. Speaking of gifts, hey, let's just lay our cards on the table. We know we're difficult.
Yeah.
We are some of the most difficult. I wonder. I finished listening to the Dave Mandel and their wives conversation.
I was talking to Todd about that before when you had to step away. He hasn't heard it yet, but I just listened to that episode today.
Yeah.
Very funny how their wives have such different approaches to how they handle their wives with their collecting.
Let's also understand Dave is 10 years older and 10 years longer married than Ryan. It's a little bit
Dave
different.
also came into his relationship with a collection. Ryan started his collection after they got married.
So, I mean, the point of this, I'll get to my point in a second, but so Dave bought the X-Wing for round about $3 million. His wife didn't know about it. Not that he kept it from her. He called her from the airport, but she doesn't get involved in knowing whatever. It's not like he said to her
beforehand, I'm going to go up to $3 million. Is that okay? No conversation. And I think my favorite part of that entire podcast was when Ryan says, what about the other stuff that Dave bought in that auction? She had no idea he bought other stuff. He spent like he spent over $500,000. Yeah, he spent close to another $1 million in that auction.
Oh, maybe.
Because he bought the freaking Stormtrooper armor.
Yeah. You're right. Well, he's got Seinfeld money.
She didn't even know that he bought anything else.
The guy's got some scratch, and he's not going to die with it. So hey,
he's selling stuff off to. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm selling stuff that's hurting me a little. Difficult to part with. But then I think to myself, I've got up to 12 more of the same thing, so I'll let them go. So anyway, what do you buy that guy for a gift? That's, we're difficult. But, so anyway, so we want to talk about, not like a list of things to get, but I jotted down some notes.
But just ideas in general for, if you're listening to this, you're probably like us, or somebody like us. And it can be very hard. And you want to get them something that that they're going to appreciate and something that maybe they've never seen before or that they wouldn't have bought for themselves. But, I mean, unless you're just going to go bottle of wine or, a tie, what do you get them that's going to be into what they like but not something that they already have? Or it's a challenge.
It's not easy. And that's the thing. Like, so you're buying for someone who's... and Todd said, like, what do you get for someone who's got everything or everything they want and buys themselves? I don't know what that answer is, but like, I've again, we and every year, and we'll do it in a couple of weeks, we have our annual gift exchange. You guys are the most fun to buy for because I try to find stuff that you don't have, and you could look like I can't look into weird specific things for my wife because it just does, obscure things. I mean. Although she's not easy because I buy her a lot of stuff, so it's hard. But clothes and jewelry solves those problems,
right?
Yeah. And Barry and I don't need more of either. So
no, I have all the jewelry I need.
Yeah,
but what makes it interesting too is you're very crafty, Dave. You have a lot of skills and a lot of equipment to make really amazing things. I like to build models and I like to paint models, but I don't want to always be just building you a model every year. Like that to me, that would get very boring and repetitive, and you probably would be like, all right, enough with the model. So it's a balance between I can make you something or I can get you something really cool.
The time spent on doing that stuff.
I will also tell you, I have spent many, many hours scrolling Etsy, looking at things for the two of you that I thought would be really cool until the reality sets in that you could do it better.
No, but you want to know, that was one of my things.
That was actually one of mine, too. I was going to bring up Etsy.
And there's a lot of cool things on there, but
Etsy's definitely a place for looking for the hard to find.
It truly is. And it's interesting that they're running ads for that right now.
Yeah,
with the Mission Impossible theme, which are kind of very clever. And but like I said, there's a lot of, and I did find a couple things for other people on there. I did not find things for you guys this year.
Etsy's a good place to look for stuff for hard to find.
It really is,
for sure.
But you need it is a rabbit hole that is just endless, And so you need to have an idea what you're looking for when you go in there.
And you need to be very thorough and really read the descriptions.
Yep, read the description. And the delivery time, I'm still waiting for something for you, Barry, from 3 years ago. Actually, that's not. They did refund my money ultimately, but
I bought Pam some stuff on Etsy.
Yeah.
Like, she likes hummingbirds, and I got her this stained glass hummingbird thing. So there's definitely, I can't make that. I mean, but that Etsy, definitely number one of the things on the list. If you're looking for stuff for a hard to find person, Etsy's a great place.
So, and I'll tell you why I said read the description, because I actually have something up on my screen. And I wasn't going to buy this for the review, but I actually thought about buying this for myself at some point.
Of course you did.
I didn't. Well, not this time of year, but there's a lot of custom action figures on Etsy,
right?
And I like vintage style Star Wars figures. They had the B. Arthur Ackmena, and the sculpt is amazing, and the picture they show you is a fully painted figure. But if you read the fine print, it comes unpainted.
Oh, really?
And you have to paint it yourself. So the art that they're showing is an example of what it would look like finished.
That'd be good for you to paint, though.
It would be perfect for me to paint.
What do they charge for something like that?
$25.
All right, that's a lot, but it's a made. That's not that
because
bad.
and it's just you're painting an action figure, so it doesn't have to be perfect, and the skin tones don't have to be perfect. But there's a lot of stuff like that if I hadn't really read it more closely, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, you gotta look at that kind of stuff. You gotta look at where it's coming from,
right,
and how long it's taking. Like, I like this stained glass thing. It came from the Ukraine. And I thankfully ordered with enough time to get it for Mother's Day or birthday or something.
And you got to add like a week and a half to all those things.
And just keep in mind when you're going to Etsy, most of the time it's unlicensed stuff, which is fine. I don't say that as a negative, but know that it's going to be custom made, handmade, whatever it is. A lot of it, but because of that, you get unique things that you're not going to find going to the Disney website or going to a store. So it's a trade-off.
Good place.
Yeah, very good.
And then I think and this takes some much more digging, but like specialty. I mean, they could even be on Etsy, but specialty companies that make stuff like that Indie Magnolia. I got you guys those slates from there. There's a bunch of the Black Sea who makes a bunch of Star Wars. They're sort of not Etsy, but they're maybe a notch above in that they have their own infrastructure to have stores. Now, where do you find those? Those are, on the RPF, there's always people like that.
You've kind of got to go to the far reaches of the internet sometimes to find some of this stuff. It's not.
You do. I mean, but hey, this is what we do. So that's not for your cousin who sort of likes things. That's like you got to really be digging in. But I found those specialty guys who make stuff.
Well, and I get something that I got for Todd that you guys will see when we get together. Like I've been saying, I bought it. I think I bought it back in March or April.
I bought yours
sometimes
in March
when you see
April
something,
too,
you got to grab it because you may never see it again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true too. And I know we say this every single year. Books. If you have, and I've said this year before, if you have a Barnes and Noble, especially the big ones, walk around it. There's always something in there to get people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we always give each other books in one form or another.
And that will continue. That will continue this year. I can promise you.
Yeah. But I always, if I'm like, especially sort of those maybe Christmas too. Yeah, stocking stuffers and stuff. Like one year, a couple years ago, Pam loves the Nutcracker. We go to see Nutcracker. They had a leather bound Nutcracker, like the book of it, like the story of the Nutcracker. It was tiny, but it was cool. It was leather. It was very Christmassy looking. Perfect stocking stuffer. There's definitely all that kind of stuff to go to look for. I don't feel like there's a ton. I hardly go to stores shopping. It's all mostly internet. But one of the few stores I go to for stuff is definitely Barnes and Noble. Yeah. I don't know. Are there stores you guys go to?
I try to avoid going anywhere near stores this time of year. I'm going to have to go.
Yeah.
Probably this coming weekend. I'll probably breakdown. And when I do go to the mall, I always do go through Barnes and Nobles because for that exact reason. If it was just a bookstore, I might not find as many things, but they have so many other things in there that, and a lot of it is geared towards people's hobbies and interests. So
there's a lot of stuff there.
I've got a couple like go-to gifts that have worked for people that I didn't know what to get for, or they were hard to get for, and neither of them are a tremendous amount of money that have really worked out. And every time I've done this, I've resorted to this gift. It's the people have actually told me they really like them and they got a lot of use out of them. And the first of these two things is I go on Amazon and I find a pouch for a small flashlight and a multi-tool. And then you give somebody a small flashlight and a multi-tool and you tell them it's for their car. Because it's something that most people don't carry around, but it can be incredibly handy, and you don't have to go crazy on the most expensive, lightest multi-tool. You can get a basic Leatherman or a Gerber tool or whatever like that, and then a decent flashlight, and they go together in a pouch. You're talking like $60, and it's it's something that's super handy that sometime at some point in their life they will get some use out of. And I've done that for a number of people, including my father-in-law.
That's a good idea. Everyone could use that.
Yeah, and again, like I said, it's everybody. It's the kind of thing that you've got in your drawer, but you just never think of in your car until you actually need something that, you can cut something with or whatever. And my other go-to, and I've done this several times, is a 3-credit Audible subscription. So basically, you're giving somebody 3 books on Audible.
That's a good idea.
And everybody can find 3 things they want to listen to, whether it's it's part of a series or whether it's just anything. The newest biography. If you really want to listen to the Britney Spears biography, go for it. Yeah. So that's another one, like I said, that I've done.
And a total side note, just adding to what you just said, anybody who's a Spotify Premium member. They just started including brand new release audiobooks in the Spotify Premium, which I was really surprised by. But
what is that? What does a Spotify Premium account cost?
Well, I have the family plan, which gives us 6 separate accounts, and it's like $15 a month. So I would imagine a single plan has got to be way less than that, even if it's $10 a month.
I will check that out.
Every single new audiobook that once I realized that the Geddy Lee audiobook was in there and I listened to that, I started looking like, ooh, Schwarzenegger's book is in here. That's great. And then Dave Grohl just did a new version of his audiobook. And then there was another one. There's like 5 audiobooks in my queue already that are all brand new releases that are all included for free. So
So one other Audible tip I'm going to give people is if you have somebody who does use Audible and they've been using it for a while, there's an app called TuneFab Audible Converter. It's about $25, and it allows you to download and save without DRM your Audible books.
Oh, wow.
And I've used this for years, and it allows you to make it portable to any single device. And one of the reasons that people say, like, I hate to do this on a streaming service, I hate to do this on Audible, is I'm stuck to the app or I'm stuck to whatever device I download it on. In this way, if you're someone like me who's been doing this for well over 10 years and you've got hundreds of books piled up, it's a way to have an archive copy of all those things. And please respect copyright laws, people. But yeah, it's another thing for somebody who's an Audible listener. So.
Books aside from a Kindle book. I don't listen to books, but I read Kindle books. But I've bought many of these. But the Amazon Fire tablets to just use as a book reader is amazing. When they go on sale, they're $50.
Yep.
They are nowhere near as good as an iPad, but they're a sixth the price.
Almost disposable.
They're definitely not as versatile. The quality is actually surprisingly good of the device itself. But again, like you said, if you leave it in a taxi or the back pocket of an airplane, whatever, it's not a huge tragedy. It's $50.
Yeah. But as a Kindle reader, a Kindle reader itself, depending on which one you get, is I don't know. I haven't checked the price. $100 to $250. The Kindle app works flawlessly on the Amazon because it's their thing, and when you get it on sale, you get it. I have an HD10 now, and it's not like the big iPad one, but it's. I'm holding my fingers up.
Yep.
10 inches more. It's like that big, smaller than like half a sheet of paper of 8.5 by 11 paper. But as a Kindle reader alone, it's great. And then maybe you watch a movie on it, or you have your apps on it. But that is worth the $50.
To go a step beyond that, if you're looking at, and I've done this for older people in a couple different instances in my family, is if you get somebody who's starting to be challenged by a computer, okay, a Chromebook is a great transitional device, and there's a lot of Chromebooks that you can get inexpensively. It looks a lot more like you're using a computer. Everything is browser based, but there's a Kindle app. There's all these different things that allow you to use this thing. Older people don't transition well to tablets. But it is a way that, and again, this is something I got from my father-in-law a number of years ago, and this is his computer now. This is what he loves, and he does everything does all his email and does all his online viewing and watches the streaming services and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, it's another thing that people kind of overlook as thinking of it as just like an education device, but it's actually a really good alternative to putting a computer in the hands of somebody who really doesn't want to deal with the upkeep of a computer.
I think also and we've got my mother the Alexa. Yeah. Now my mother has really difficult visions, has difficulty seeing, and she listens to the books, and she listens to them on her Alexa. And it's like, Alexa, continue reading, To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's just right there without having to go through and turn on stuff. And she's not very computer savvy, but those are for older people, really for anybody. If someone doesn't have one form or another of an Alexa, absolutely.
And again, you can get those super inexpensive, especially if you're not looking for the ones that have the high-end audio quality. Yeah. If you're just looking for something that's an assistant.
The little round dot ones, I don't know. Yeah. I misquoted. Like the HD tablet is $89. I think it was less than that.
They go down. Yeah, they're offered cheaper. Yeah.
But and then I think those Echo Dots or the Amazon Alexa Dots are $50.
You can get one on
up to $100.
You can get the which one is this? This is the Dot. This is the one that looks like a little ball.
Yeah,
it's on sale for $22.99 right now.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. If someone doesn't have one, get them.
Yeah, and if
54% off.
if you happen to have somebody who does have an Audible account, it's an amazing accessory for that, because I've asked it to tell me what books I have by a certain author. It lists from my library, lists what those books are, and then I tell it which one to play.
And I don't want to make this about old and infirmed people, but they are difficult to buy for too.
Yes. Yeah.
But I do know, and we set this up for my mother, who lives near, my brother lives down the road from her. You can program the Alexa to have a phone call, even if it's not connected to a cell phone. Call so-and-so, John Smith.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just like if you've fallen and you can't get up, literally, you could yell to it, Alexa, call so-and-so.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm getting of an age where that could be important to me.
Yeah, I know.
So something else that I would say, if you are trying to find a gift for somebody that is into the kind of stuff we're into, instead of buying them an actual gift, you can get them tickets to take them to a convention. And most of these conventions now are selling their passes a year in advance. So
that's an interesting thought.
Like Rhode Island Comic Con is an example. They're already selling tickets for next November. So if it's somebody that would enjoy going to an event like that, or that they've said they're going to go, but maybe they haven't bought their passes yet because it's too early, you can hook them up with that, and that's something that they would enjoy, and then you could even potentially go with them, and then you get to enjoy it too. And you can research that stuff pretty far in advance.
I have somebody I'm going to do that for. That's a really good idea. Yep.
But they're not only comic conventions. There's all kinds of other stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Sure.
we saw a couple weeks ago. Wasn't there like the Hallmark Channel Christmas convention where all the Hallmark stars in New Jersey?
It's this weekend or last weekend?
I think it was
There's
last
all kinds.
weekend.
There's BravoCon.
I saw a picture of
it was
somebody
in
with
Vegas.
Lacey Chabert on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, BravoCon. There's conventions for everything now.
Yeah.
But that's something that people don't always think to get for themselves, but they would really enjoy, especially if it was a gift.
I do, I give that kind of stuff. And it's another thing, and it's not for everybody, but our company actually gave away a subscription to Masterclass.
Oh,
So
yes, I've done that. I've done that also. Yeah.
There's I want to be a filmmaker. I want to be a baker. I want to.
Some of those are
be
very
a painter.
good. Some of those are very good.
Someone who will teach you a master class on one of those. So you can buy credits for a master class, like Ron Howard does. I think we talked about it once. He does the thing on directing, and it is something for everybody. That's a good gift.
That's excellent.
That's actually for someone who you have no idea. They could pick their own thing too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Along the lines of the convention thing is and it's something that I think almost all of my Christmas gifts for my kids this year are concert tickets. And
cool.
It's an experience and an event and something that they're going to get to enjoy after the holidays. But it's like I was saying about conventions, most of the concerts for next summer and beyond are already on sale. So take a look at that and for kids or for teenagers or young adults like my kids, they're expensive now, and they probably wouldn't be able to go, or they would have to think twice about paying that kind of money to go to a concert. But get them the tickets.
One of the things that you talk about stores we go to, not far from here, we have a really good kitchen shop, and now I have no idea what to buy when I go into a kitchen shop. I vaguely know the things that I've seen and used, but if you go in and you say what is new and what's the thing that everybody's buying, invariably they will point you to something that you've never thought of, and turns out to be a really, really cool thing. And so, like, one of the things that I bought a few years ago was these. It looks just like a flat piece of rubber, thick rubber, with a handle with like a knob on the top of it. And what it basically is a lid for any glass bowl. Okay? So if you put it on it and you press down, it seals. It doesn't matter what size it is. And really, really cool. And then once you press it down, you can even lift it by the handle because it makes a vacuum seal. And so anything, if you got dough in there or whatever like that, you just put this thing on, press down, and now this thing is sealed. You don't have to find the lid, and you don't have to waste cellophane or something like on it. And so I bought like a 3-pack of those in different sizes for people before. But
I may get some of those.
I never would have thought about
Pam
this
would
thing.
love that.
I never would have thought about this thing if I hadn't gone in there and said...
They're like silicone, right?
It's silicone. It's this big silicone disc. And the ones
I'm writing that down.
ones that I bought
I'm
most
looking at
recently
them on Amazon right now.
kind of look like flower petals, like they've kind of got a organic shape to them. But again, you just push it down and it kind of burps, and then it's sealed. And
I like that.
And it's just again, never would have thought of that myself in a million years, but walked in, use the people that are experts in this stuff to tell you.
Yeah.
Say what's a good gift. I caution doing that in an Apple store. It can be very expensive.
Yes.
But things like a kitchen shop.
Williams-Sonoma is
Yes.
sort of the chain that is that place. But there's always something like my so-and-so's a baker. My so-and-so's into coffee. My so-and-so's into liquor. Now they have all kinds of liquor things now. They're not cheap, but you don't have to get
But even
like
stuff like this, I think this is like a $25 set or something for this. It's not crazy
but
money.
There's all kinds. You can get $1,000 thing. You can get a $20
Yep.
thing at these stores.
Yep.
You know what I have gotten, and Barry, I may throw this at you in case you need a gift idea, and if you haven't done it already. So Pam likes to cook. She likes to bake, and I think 50% of the people out there have a hand mixer from 25 years ago that you bought at Abraham and Strauss for $19.99, and that's what we had. And I'm like,
and they never die, so you never get rid of them.
Why do we? They never die. It's $20. Why? And I'm like, what the hell? Why do we have that? That thing is like. So All of that stuff is now cordless. So for one of her things I think it was Christmas last year, I got her a KitchenAid cordless mixer. Now, if you've ever mixed anything with a hand mixer, that stupid cord gets everywhere.
Yep.
So wait a minute. So you don't have like a countertop mixer? I mean, isn't that like...
No, we have that too. We have the KitchenAid bowl mixer. But
Okay.
a lot of times you're using the hand mixer for
Okay.
stuff. You need to quick...
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
The bowl mixer isn't for everything. But the cordless
and the bowl
hand
mixer, we have one too, and Maria uses it every year, but it's always like, I've got to go carry it out of storage and put it up on the counter. And
Oh, no.
It weighs a ton.
Ours never gets put away, and that is
Yeah.
the mixer.
don't
But
have
yeah,
space
but
to
if you
do
got
it
two
out.
things, you're right, Dave, though. If you got two things going at a time, cleaning it and shifting between projects does take a lot of
But
time.
the cordless stuff makes
Yeah.
all the difference in the world. And then we also had one of these immersion blenders. I don't know what she uses it for, but she
Yeah.
uses it maybe like once a month. I got her the matching cordless one of those this year.
Oh, that's cool.
Cordless tools.
Nice.
Just like
It's just like
tools
for
for
us.
the workshop.
Yeah.
And that's the
Cooking
good
tools.
segue into, just start down. I mean, if you're not a contractor, go to Home Depot and start down the Ryobi line, and you're going to find a lot of things. I bought this for work. I just bought a cordless hand vac. It's like a little, looks like a shrunken down shop vac. And
Yeah.
this thing,
I have one.
slaps the battery in the top bit. Don't have to deal with the cord. Just wherever I need this thing, pop it out, boom. It's fantastic.
That's
And-
one of my favorite purchases, I think, in the past year. I bought a Milwaukee one only because I had a big Milwaukee battery. I was going to buy the Ryobi one. The Ryobi one's probably under $100.
Oh yeah, it was $80, and
Those
year,
are amazing.
the year before, I bought the 10-pack of 1.8 volt batteries, and so like I got all these batteries everywhere, and so it's awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
So
No, there's all that stuff. I know we're sort of off of nerd stuff, but this is stuff for everybody. Like you said, the Ryobi line, the vacuum is great. There is a probably $40 inflator that uses those batteries. We think we've talked about
inflator
that.
is great. The one of the things that you put me onto was the glue gun. Oh my god!
The cordless glue gun.
It's
But the
fantastic.
inflator is great. There's two versions of the
Yep.
inflator. One that looks like a drill. You
Yep.
pull the trigger and it automatically. But the other one that's like $25. The $40+ one, you go in. Your tires need 35 pounds. You punch 35
Yep.
in. You turn it on. It inflates until they're done. Cordless. No. I used to have this thing. This
And
little
it
thing that
attaches
looked,
onto the stem so that you don't have to
attaches
hold it
onto
on?
the stem.
Oh, wow.
And then you just let it sit there. It's used as a battery. I used to have one that you had to plug in, and then you had
And
to have
that's
the
what
cord. It looked-
I be honest with
looked
you, Dave.
like
I've been
the
thinking
old,
about that myself recently because I have the plug-in one, and as I told you guys, I had
pain in
one
the
when we
ass.
just last got together. I had one tire that was just kept. It turned out to be a sensor, but it kept reading low, so I kept plugging it in to check it, and that would have been really easy with a handheld one.
Yeah, I have this
With
one
a
that looks
cordless
like the airbrush
Yep.
compressor.
Yep.
But then you got to get a 25-foot cord because you got to carry it around. This is cordless. It's everyone should have one of those.
So if you're going on a road trip, you just throw that in the back of the truck, and God forbid you have a
Yeah.
problem. There you go.
Yep.
It's amazing. But all those tools. If someone has a house that doesn't have a cordless drill in that house, get them a cordless drill.
Oh, God, yeah.
But there are people who don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's just someone who's just not super into it, but just
Okay. So
Ryobi's
Dave,
perfect
what is
brand.
the next tool after a cordless drill?
Next, well, it depends on like a regular person
Yeah.
or like a building person. That's a
A
tough
regular person, I think it's probably got to be some kind of socket set, just because.
Oh no, I meant power tool.
Oh, power.
one. I honestly think that vacuum.
You think
And
the vacuum?
I'm late to that, but that is for
You can do a lot with a jigsaw.
jigsaw's a tricky saw to use.
But that's the other thing I was going to say is, but I've always had one, so
I'm trying to. I have like 3, and
Yeah.
I've never been good with any of them. I'm trying to think. What do I have that I use the most? Certainly the drills.
the other thing is to once you get into the system, multiple flashlights. I mean, in an emergency, when you can grab in emergency, you're not going to be drilling in emergency, but when you can grab the battery from your drill and slap that into your flashlight, and
flashlight's a good thing to have for sure.
And and if you got multiple things,
I don't actually have any of those.
I'm going to do that
because I have like 30 other flashlights.
Right, but still, but to have that thing that you can, that all you immediately have all those batteries for. There's very long in a flashlight, extremely long lasting batteries.
Yeah.
Because there's no load, and So
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I have a router. That's not something normal people need.
I would maybe say a reciprocating saw.
Multi-tool.
No,
multi-tool is
the vibrating multi-tool.
Yep.
So everyone calls it something else, but it's a tool that's long. It's like a skinny grinder.
Yep.
But it has two attachments. They make a bunch of them. There's one that's a sanding attachment that sands with vibration, and then there's one that you put a little blade on and cuts. Anyone can use that.
Yeah. Yep. Barry, what were you going to say?
I have had all those things cordless, and now I have all corded, and now I have all of them cordless.
Yep.
But the next, to me, the next thing up from the Ryobi is the Milwaukee 12-volt line. So Milwaukee has a 12-volt line and an 18-volt line. Not only is the 12-volt less expensive, and it's less heavy-duty tools, but some of those, I have go-to tools no matter what I'm doing that are in the 12-volt line because they're just amazing. There's no need for an 18-volt version of them. Vibrating multi-tool. I don't know what it is. That would be my second guess. You could cut a 2x4 with it if you had to. For sure. But screwdriver set. If you don't have a good screwdriver set, get one.
That is, I will say that's one of the things that you can never have too many of because every screwdriver set that you've had for more than X years is missing one screwdriver. So, So if you've got, if you got them in a couple different places, it's never a bad thing.
This is, I know we all have some of it, but Todd, if you're into any kind of electronics more than just a consumer, iFixit has amazing stuff.
Oh my God,
Barry got me a kit a couple of years ago that was actually Star Trek themed, which is great, and that sits in my bottom drawer at work. We have like 3 kits at work. Okay, that every single one now is missing something except mine, which is in the bottom drawer. So when I'm like, I can't find the one I want, I pull the one from Barry out that looks like an Enterprise toolkit, and I just do it and then hide it back in my bottom drawer. It's awesome. So they're just great to have. But it is not a good shared tool. Let's just put it that way. You want your own.
Yes.
Because, like I said, I suspect the ones in my office, the incomplete ones in my office, there's various bits left at various past jobs. But
my son borrowed mine, and I haven't seen it in a year.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's one of those things that's so cool. The second somebody else sees it, you have a hard time getting it back.
Yeah.
Periodically, I go through my assistant's drawer and recover bits, but desk drawers and recover the bits. But like I said,
what else disappears in your house? That's tools. What do you always like?
Flashlights.
I know I've probably had 20, and it always disappears.
Flashlights in my house.
Okay. No.
Scissors. Scissors. Find a pair of scissors that are good, that are inexpensive, and buy 5 sets. Okay.
I agree with that. I label scissors like you're not allowed to touch certain ones, but that's true.
No, but the thing is, the people that will take your scissors in your household don't care for the good ones and don't care which ones they're taking, which is why I'm saying if you find a decent set of
they're good titanium pair of scissors,
if you get an $8 set of
$30
decent household scissors, buy 5 pairs of those and put them in every place where someone is going to look, and then go take your good ones from your workbench. So
iPhone cords disappear. They go into a black hole.
Yeah.
This household must have bought 50 iPhone cords at one point, and there's none to be found.
Yeah. And people, if you're replacing iPhone cords, buy the Amazon Basic ones. They're very, very good. They're half the price. Don't buy the cheap ass ones on the counter at the Staples.
No,
or the 7-Eleven.
or the 7, oh God forbid, the 7-Eleven, and use the power block that came with your device, but you don't have to use the cord that came with your device. But like I said, Amazon
power
Basic
blocks
ones
disappear too.
But I'm saying that the Amazon Basic cords are significantly more durable than the Apple cords.
Well, what's making me crazy now with Apple too is that they're slowly switching everything over to USB-C, which just means so many of the cords I have don't.
But there's
don't
so many
fit
things we
my
have that's
devices.
still Lightning. What are you going to do?
Yeah, and it's
One of the
But
things
Lightning
that
on one end, but now the
but you
power
can also
block
get
USB-C on the other end.
you can get both
yeah.
versions of those cords from Amazon, and you can get them in 5-packs.
What I did this year is because we just like Mark was home for a week, so in our kitchen we have those the plugs with the USB things in them. I replaced them, and then in the kitchen drawer, which I thoroughly organized last year with laser cut dividers, has several cords. Now that he was home for a week, now there's no cords.
Yep.
So I bought each of them different color cords in like a set of 5, and if there's a blue cord and it's gone, it's your cord.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I bought blue cords and keep them in the kitchen, and I always say to anybody, if I see these in any other room other than the kitchen, I'm going to know you took it.
Yeah,
there you go. Exactly. So now everyone's got their own color.
Well, one of the things that is in my bag that I carry around is a standard USB-A to USB-C adapter. Okay, which is really, really helpful. A USB-C to Lightning adapter. Okay, and then
I don't have that.
Then the reverse, the USB, the
Lightning to USB-C.
Lightning to USB-C, really, really handy. Okay, and then the other one that I use all the time is USB. Believe it or not, USB-C male to USB-A. So if because like your Apple devices, okay, you need that both directions. You need that if you've got the USB-A port, and you need that if you've got the USB-C port. And I'll tell you,
the other one that nobody's thinking about, which I have in my Amazon cart right now that I'm not buying until I see what I get for Christmas.
Yep.
If you get one of the newer iPads and you have wired headphones, you need a USB-C to quarter-inch adapter
I
just to
carry
be able
one of
to put
those
your
also.
headphones in. Yep.
So I have so many different adapters. I actually in my bag, I have a hard phone case. Okay, a hard glasses case, which just like flips open, and that's where all my adapters live, and some small tools, but those are the 3 that I go to the most, and
those make great stocking
that
stuffers.
Disappeared too.
Yeah, good stocking stuffers. These types of adapters.
Yeah,
totally. Because we're all going to need them. All right, we can go on and on about gifts, but
if we haven't covered something that and you still have somebody you don't know what to get, reach out to us. You know how to get a hold of us.
That's right.
Yeah,
we're
give you
gift
some
advisors. We'll
give you ideas. Fanboy Collectibles. Check
we
them out.
will gladly spend your money. We do it to each other all the time.
Oh boy, do we!
And Fanboy Collectibles will give you a gift certificate. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So check that out. All right, I think Barry, you have a what's in the box?
I do.
Todd, do you?
I do.
Todd, you
I
may
don't.
not.
Because Todd's the only one who's being
I'm behaving
playing by
myself.
the rules.
Yeah.
No, I've bought stuff that no one's buying me, and Barry, why don't you go? What's in the box?
All right. So I was saying even earlier that I like vintage style Star Wars figures, and I've been trying to hold off on buying any more of these, but Hasbro just released a new box set of retro vintage re-release Star Wars figures, which I have all of the vintage ones, but what they did, which really pissed me off, is you can only buy this as a box set of 6 figures, and you get this one, which is Mon Mothma, which is a figure they never made. Now, I like the figures that they never made in the vintage style, but the only way you can get her is by buying a box of 5 other that comes with 5 other figures that you don't need. But what's also interesting is that they include Yak Face, which is a really rare and a very expensive figure.
That's not a good idea.
So it's weird. So you've got this reproduction Yak Face figure, which, I'm sure there's something that distinguishes it from the vintage one, but this is the first time that they've done a figure from the last group of figures they made, which are the most expensive ones to buy on the vintage toy market now. But then if you buy the box set, you get the Mon Mothma figure that looks like she would have been made back in the 70s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad I got it, and, but I would have much rather just bought the single figure and gotten her and not had to go out and buy a box set, but there you have it. So, if anybody wants any of the other figures, let me know. I'll probably be pulling apart with them. I really just wanted her, but...
That's funny.
This is the third figure that they've made that was a figure that never existed. They did the Grand Moff
That's
Tarkin.
cool that they're doing that, though.
They did Luke in a snowspeeder outfit, and now they've done her. So I hope they continue to do figures from the vintage era that they never did. But don't make me buy a box set of 6 figures to get them. Hasbro.
Yeah.
So, Dave, I know you had something too?
Yes. I'm going to go hold up a part of it.
All right, so Dave's going to go get something. I'll vamp while he gets up, and he's walking to somewhere in his room, and he's going to grab. All right, he's coming. We got to wait for him to come back. I know this is riveting podcasting for all of you. He's taking something out of a bag. It's a mannequin torso. All right, you got your mannequin.
Did you comment?
Oh, I was talking all the way through. Yes, you got a mannequin.
Good. So we talked. I don't know if we talked on the show or off the show, but Todd and I bought costumes from Planet Earth, and we need mannequins for them. So I ordered one, and first of all, I don't know how good it is. I haven't unpacked it. I ordered it from some store supply company, so. I ordered it like Saturday. No, I ordered it like Thursday, and it came on Sunday. It wasn't supposed to come for like until the middle of this week, and it was $160. A fiberglass mannequin. Shipping was $10.
Wow.
Ooh.
Which I was shocked by.
Did they have female mannequins?
I don't know if they had headless female ones. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, send me the link.
The link. Yeah. But so it came in this big box. Hey, and I know we have weird things that a family puts up with stuff. Pam, for whatever reason, hates mannequins, and she's like, "Why?" I'm still
and I know this because we've talked about this in the past. Because I have 2 mannequins in my house with costumes on them. And I know you were always hesitant to get one because of that very issue.
Well, I also don't really think I have the space, and I'd rather put a costume on the wall if I could. But she's like, does it have a head? If it has it, I don't want it. I'm like, it doesn't have a head. Does it have hands? I'm like, well, you care about hands? I don't know what's going on. So she's a little creeped out by it, but there is a weirdness about mannequins. I think I'll admit
you have to get past it. It was a little weird when I first set up the Stormtrooper on a mannequin. That was going back a long time ago.
But that was like one of those black fuzzy ones. I feel like that's less creepy for some reason.
Well, but I've had this mannequin standing right next to me in my office here now for a couple of years now. We've had the Star Trek costumes, right?
There's a creep factor to the mannequins, right?
A little bit. I got past it.
Okay. She may never come in this room again. I don't know.
We were at dinner the other night with my neighbors, and we were basically saying Maria only comes down in the basement when she needs me, and I'm down here. She never comes down here, so yeah. She stays above ground.
Yeah. So
we'll see. If you were in the basement all the time, if your room was downstairs, she'd never go down there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what this guy looks like.
I can't wait to see it all set up.
The price is right. And the shipping was amazing. I was shocked by that. We'll see how it looks. I don't know. I don't know if it's a little thin.
What is the pose on it? Is it like a basic
It's pretty neutral.
Yeah, okay.
And John Saxon had in the pictures has a pretty neutral pose. So hopefully it's okay.
Yeah, because that was the thing with mine. I needed a neutral pose, and I needed a thin one because...
See, yeah, you guys had the thin one. This guy... I'm calling him Jeffrey. No. This guy is a little bigger. He's, I think, a 40-inch chest, so it's a little
But
bigger.
that'll work because your costume is a stretchable material.
Yeah, that's why it needs to be
Yeah.
a little. I wanted a little bigger one. I think you and Todd. I think you bought the same one. They're a little. It's a little more.
Well, and I was
narrow,
advised
right?
to do that because our friend Tom, who knows all about this stuff, told me most mannequins you can't get like regular normal size pants up over the hips. They're too hippie.
Yeah.
So when he said if
yeah.
you've got a costume that was built for a Hollywood actor, you have to get like a slim,
Yeah,
mannequin. But but your costume is stretchy
this
material.
is stretchy.
So, yeah.
I'm wondering if I have to pad this guy out a bit. We'll see. I don't know. I really didn't. I just took him out of the giant box and carried him upstairs so she wouldn't be upset. I brought the hands into the bedroom.
Of course. You have to.
It's fiberglass.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta see. Now the other thing, and a question. I know we're going on too long about a mannequin, but and Todd, I'm curious. This one's white, slightly off white. What's the right? Part of me feels like I wonder if it'd be better like painted gray.
I think gray.
What do you think?
Yeah, gray's not a bad idea.
Well, the one I have here is white, and it's fine.
I'll put it together. I'll see if it works. I don't know that there's any sending it back, but I think they have return. The shipping to return will be like a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'll keep you abreast on the mannequin story.
Well, if it doesn't work for that costume, like put your Jedi costume on it or something.
I'm trying not to get involved in the mannequin thing.
Or your
This was a
Batman
specific
costume.
thing. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That needs a head, though. I'm not doing that. She'll start freaking out if I start having a bunch of mannequins around here. I just don't have the space either.
Yeah, they do take up space.
Yeah. I should. I mean, I should just like move it into the foot of the bed when she's asleep one night, standing there.
Hilarious.
That'd be hilarious, but I don't know if it'd be worth it.
Yeah, you'll pay for it later, but
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not gonna be. It's just I just cut to the chase on that one. Yeah,
you don't think it would be a fun story for him to tell us over?
I'm just
drinks one
not
night?
thinking that. Yeah,
After the divorce
I'm also
papers are
the guy
filed.
when Mark was like 5 and thought there was a monster under his bed, like every kid does. I'm like, I gotta dress up like a monster and come out from under his bed one day. And Pam was like, you don't do that to children, But I thought it was a fun idea.
Yeah.
But don't take parenting advice from me, anybody. Anyway, all right, we've gone on long enough. We're getting close, counting down. We're going to do a show, live show in a couple of weeks. Part of me, semi-inspired from the Props podcast, do we want to do half hour with the wives?
We could.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll
Get
think
that
about
mannequin set up beforehand. We'll have
Yes.
pre-show, post-show, and
He'll hold
in-show
the
gold.
microphone
Yeah.
in his weird hands.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
But maybe we'll do that. So it's been a very long time since we've talked to them.
It has. You're right.
So we'll see. We'll see about that. Anyway, that's long enough. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.